Hello, my name is Beth Spratt, and I'm with the Alabama Department of Agriculture and Industries. I'm the Agriculture Development Specialist working on the Farm to School program. Today, we're going to talk about an additional meal reimbursement program. Have you heard about the new Farm to School incentive program where you can get an additional 25 cents per meal for serving local items? During the 2020 legislative session, the general fund budget that passed and was ultimately signed by Governor Ivey included $120,000 specifically for Farm to School. These funds were set aside to help incentivize those who are serving Alabama-produced items in their child nutrition programs. $100,000 is intended to be reimbursed on a first-come, first-served basis, while the rest is set aside for training and assistance running the program. This is the first year funds like these have been offered, and our hope is to show the need for additional funding next year. So how does it work? Whenever you feature a meal component that was sourced from Alabama on your tray, you will receive an additional 25 cents per meal per child, equivalent to $1 per child. In other words, let's say you were offering an Alabama Satsuma as your fruit offering for that day. Every meal that includes that Satsuma will receive an additional 25 cents. You could serve those same Satsumas for breakfast and lunch 2 days in a row and receive your $1 per student for every student served. Since this is an additional reimbursement to encourage additional purchases of Alabama products, DoD purchases are excluded from this reimbursement. So how do you get your reimbursement? You will receive this spreadsheet, which you will complete and submit to me every month, along with your monthly point of service meal counts and invoices matching what you are claiming. Once I have received those items, I will submit them to our office for payment to you. So let's take a look at that Excel sheet so that I can show you how you would use it. So here's what the sheet looks like. As you will notice, there are a couple cells that are actually highlighted in yellow. These are just to draw your attention to enter something in those cells. So since I'm in Montgomery County, I'm going to say that I'm with Montgomery County. As you see, once I hit enter, that cell is no longer yellow. And down at the bottom here, you'll see there's a different sheet for every single month starting in October, because that's when the funds start. If you clicked on a different sheet, you'll notice it automatically fills in whatever you inputted there for all of the remaining sheets. That way you don't have to keep typing it every single month. We did leave the total enrollment number where you do have to fill that in every month, because we know that your enrollment will change, and if it goes up, you would be eligible for additional reimbursement funds. So for the purposes of this sample, we're going to say that we have 500 students enrolled in our school or in our system. So as soon as I hit enter, again, that field is no longer yellow, and you will see the total possible reimbursement amount is automatically calculated, showing that you would get $1 per student. You would then go down here to this section where we talk about products. Since we were talking about Satsumas earlier, let's say that we are buying Satsumas. And in the amount purchase column, we want to know, did you buy 1 case of Satsumas? Did you buy a bushel? We just kind of want to know what kind of quantity did you buy. So I'm going to say I bought 2 cases of Satsumas. The next column here is asking which days did you serve the product. Well, I'm going to say that I served them on Monday, on Wednesday, and on Friday. If you accidentally select a day that you didn't serve it on, you can always go back and deselect that day. The next column here is asking, where did you receive it from? Did it come from your distributor? Did it come from a food hub? Or was this a direct sale with the farmer? For this example, we're going to say that we worked directly with the farmer and that we worked with Sessions Farm. So I'm going to say direct sale. You can also type in farmer, you can type in whatever makes sense and as easy as for you. But we just want to kind of know, how did you get it to your school system? Then this next column is very important. We want to know where the origin of your products came from, so that we can actually mark where they came from in Alabama. So for this particular example, Session Farms is located in Mobile County. So I'm going to fill that in. And since it was a direct sale and I'm working directly with my farmer, I'm going to go ahead and input in this farmer's name because I know the name. If you're working with your distributor and you don't know the name of the farm, that's okay, but we would really love to have it if you can get it from your distributor. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to come down, you're going to scroll down just a little bit here to this bottom section, and you'll see I've gone ahead and inputted the days of the week where you could be serving your meals, and then I've also inputted in all of the meal programs. So for this example, I said that I serve Satsumas on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So because it's completely realistic, I'm going to actually input in that I had 500 students or my entire enrollment eat lunch that featured a meal component from Alabama on this Monday the 5th. As you can see, as soon as I clicked into the cell, a little note pops up that tells me I cannot claim partial meals. So in other words, we want it to be that full portion serving. You can't say that I served a half of a serving or a half of a half cup was from Alabama. It needs to be that full component. And it also says that you cannot exceed your total enrollment number. So if I accidentally input it in that I serve 5,000, you'll see that it goes ahead and it flags it in yellow and bold and red color, and it just tries to draw your attention to that's an error and you need to fix that. So we're going to go back in and we're going to say that I serve 500 students for lunch on Monday, on Wednesday, and on Friday. So you'll notice over here the total estimated reimbursement amount has already filled in, and it's calculated for you. So you don't have to do any of that. Since our total possible amount that we could have been reimbursed was 500, we still actually have a little bit of a remaining balance, which is going to roll over on our next sheet. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. So now we're here, and let's say that our enrollment is still 500 students. You'll see this is our remaining balance from what we have claimed from the last month minus our total possible reimbursement of 500. It does say down at the bottom of the sheet estimated reimbursement amount, and that is because this is on a first come first served basis. So if we run out of funds, we may not be able to pay out the full claim, but we're going to do our best to try and make sure everybody gets paid for everything. So let's say we've filled in this section up here like we did before, and we're going to go down here and we're going to say we served 500 students on Monday again. You'll see that's the total 125, which was the total amount that we had left that we could have been reimbursed. So if I try to input another 500, you'll see my reimbursement amount does not go up because I've already reached my maximum. If you were to have increased your enrollment to now you're at 505 students, you'll see your total reimbursement amount just increased by an additional $5 for a dollar for each of those students. If you have not claimed your full reimbursement amount from the first month and your enrollment goes down, your reimbursement that you're eligible for will go down, but if your enrollment increases again the next month, it'll go back up. If you had already been paid out for your total maximum possible payout, then we would not ask you for money back if your enrollment goes down. That's basically you get to keep those funds, and we're happy you have them. But if you haven't been paid out for everything and your enrollment numbers go down, your possible reimbursement amount will go down. The last thing I want to point out is on this last sheet here. It says for your totals over here, I'm going to help everybody fill in this portion that's up top here from what you've submitted to me from your previous month. So I will assist with this. Don't worry about that as much. And then we'll all kind of confirm and make sure that these numbers down here that should automatically populate from whatever you inputted in the previous months, we'll just make sure that those are correct and everything looks right. And it'll show your total reimbursement amount. What we're hoping to use this for is to be able to submit to the legislature and say, this is how much our schools are purchasing, this is why we have a need for more funds. And we can also go to our farmers and try to convince them that our schools are buying a lot of local products and we need you to grow more for them so that we can try to keep our school purchase funds locally. So let's go back to the presentation. Okay, so if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me at any time. I'm here to help and happy to do so. And we look forward to helping our schools get as much funding as possible. Hope you all have a wonderful day, and I look forward to working with you soon.